Oh, where's your costume? It's a Halloween party.
Oh, this is my costume.
Oh, that's smart. You mean in the sense that you're constantly wearing a metaphorical mask that you put on around other people?
No, I mean this.
I used to say you in love. I used to say sit back, thinking that shit from the heart. Now look where the fuck are we at? Oh, you got me just going up bad.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people with made up genders, welcome back to the channel. I told you guys I was gonna make this video and I was gonna fucking deliver it. For those who are confused and don't know who Hyojin is, Hyojin once dated Paracynical, I believe, and was involved in the Slazo drama. I recommend watching Turkey Tom's video on this, alright? He goes really deep into it, and Hyojin is involved in the second one. But we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about the allegations that were brought up against her. You know, at this point, they're not even fucking allegations. How many times has this bitch done this shit? But this whole entire drama sparked when a user on Twitter called Punk Duck tweeted out this: my history with my abuser, and it turns out Hyojin dated someone called Punk Duck. TLDR, my ex-partner Hyojin was abusive to me both emotionally, physically, from 2019 till the back half of 2021. They berated me, put me down, assaulted me, the worst of which is on page 2. Evidence of it is linked at the end. For 2.5 years, I was trapped in an extremely abusive relationship with Hyojin that I both could not escape, could not tell anybody about. I'm writing this now because I constantly see my ex popping up in my feed. Thanks to the wonderful Twitter and YouTube algorithm, not to mention people reposting their content, I brought this up to Hyojin directly, and while the apology they sent was nice and all, the trauma they've given me is well and truly for life. I intentionally plan to keep this private, but I reached the boiling point of how much I'm willing to lie. Protect their image, both my friends and my family, so it's about time I get this off my chest. Where do I even begin? When we started dating, it was fine, great even. For a while, the first 6 months were mostly fine. Occasionally, they would do the classic redirect anger you're feeling from unreleased issues to your partner and berate me, but I keep being promised it would stop, and I believed it. They were, however, constantly materialistic, even at the cost of my own feelings. Constantly arguments over what I wear, what I buy, what I do on nights, outwear and order, because anything they would do would be a status thing. They wanted me to act the same way, so I wouldn't embarrass them. Anytime arguments would happen, they would always be my fault. One of two ways. Either I actually fucked up, or it was a problem they would cause. I would try to approach them and tell them how they hurt me. I wanted to talk about it, and they would instantly turn into emotional manipulations and accusations of, you're just doing this to make me feel stupid, just fucking leave then. I'll end up apologizing, nothing would be resolved. Whatever I had brought up to them would just be added to the growing list of repeated behavior. The main thing I would bring up to them was anger redirection, which culminated around 2020. A lot of things I would bring up will be out of order. They came to visit me a couple days before COVID started. Bad timing. After it did, we soon realized they had to go back to Australia before flights ran out. It was a very stressful time for everybody involved, but it certainly did not help that whenever my parents weren't in the room, I was an emotional punching bag. Like all of it was my fault. Any help I suggest would be responded to in screams. At one point, they screamed at me that I was fucking useless and forced me out of my own room so they could stream to raise money for the ticket. Naturally, I obeyed their orders and made them dinner while they streamed. When they came downstairs, I apologized to them. Even worse, my mom caught wind of how much they were screaming at me and was getting increasingly worried for them. My mother wasn't aware that Hyojin had just finished fundraising streams, or that Hyojin is fucking loaded, thinking that they were some starving college kid. She offered to pay for the unprompted flight from Europe to Australia in full. Hyojin immediately accepted. I felt fucking gross. They only ended up paying my mother back exactly. Jesus fucking Christ, man. That was like a long ass fucking paragraph I had to read. You don't know how many outtakes I had to fucking delete. Oh my god, I was stuttering. But hell no, this bitch seems fucking psychotic, even to bring your mother into it and even pay for half her shit for her fucking plane ticket. Alright, that is honestly the most scummiest shit I've ever read in my fucking life. Cause one, she's streaming, making money off of her fucking shit. Yet your mother is gonna fucking pay for it? That's honestly some off the wall fucking shit right there. I honestly hope he told his mother about all this, cause holy shit, she just basically scammed his mom. Now I can't blame Punk at all, but bro, come on bro, how are you gonna do your mom's dirty like that? You knew what the fuck she was doing. 1 year later, with me constantly reminding them for months, impromptu tickets to Australia are not fucking cheap. Turns out I visited them for emergency reasons back in 2019. And still got fucking yelled at because I had a migraine from how hot it was at one point, and asked them if we can go home early so I could rest. They screamed at me saying I ruined their night, and they didn't allow me to sleep in the bed that night. I was promised things would get better. What really made things spiral out of control was New Year's Eve 2020. I had flown down to Australia for a couple weeks to be with hyojin and their family on New Year's Eve itself. We bought a tent and planned to be in a park to watch the fireworks. It was fun till once again they called me fucking useless and yelled at me because I was struggling to figure out how to build the tent. While they sat there and did nothing, massive scene in the middle of a very crowded park was fun at that point, that shit was bouncing off me. A couple days after, on January 3rd, 2020, my partner had received an early press copy of a game and asked for help installing it. Turns out getting early copies to work on Steam is a fucking ball ache, and neither of us could figure it out. The usual stuff happens, yelling, blaming me, etc., telling me to fuck off, so I just go and sit on the bed on the verge of tears. They proceed to do the same in the room I'm in, get on Discord voice chat with their friends and start chatting like nothing is going on. I lied there in pure disbelief. I mustered up the courage to ask, are you actually doing this? Bad idea, very bad idea. Hyojin deafens the call. I tell them, and what they did is fucked up. They hit me so hard, in fact, my head bounces off the wall. We just stand there motionless, and without saying a word, I ask, what the fuck did you just do? They start crying and storm out into a guest room in their house. This was the first moment I realized I was in an abusive relationship for a year. It was emotional and now it was physical. So I did what most reasonable people do. I fucking panicked. I phoned up one of our friends who lived nearby, explained to him what just happened as quickly as possible, and bless his fucking soul, he saved my life. I asked him if I can stay with him for a reminder of my trip, and he instantly agrees. He immediately calls an ambulance for their house and Uber for myself so I can get to his place. I start gathering my shit as fast as I can so I can leave without hyojin walking in on me packing. Hyojin walks in on me packing, asks what I'm doing. Before I can answer, they start crying that I've ruined their year. I tell them that I'm fucking terrified of them. They run to the bathroom and grab a knife. At first, they point it at me, then at themselves. I lunge to try and disarm them. Bro, this is just fucking sad to read, honestly. Like, this shit is an emotion. What the fuck, dude? And they scratch on my arm pretty bad. I managed to get the knife, but it was at this point their mother walked in and she starts crying at hyojin, saying that they're an attention whore, a drama queen, how they always do this and they're sick in the head, and then she just walks away like she didn't see anything. Lovely woman. The police show up along with the ambulance. I tell them what happened and they take my partner away. I take the Uber to my friend's place. Dude, what the fuck am I reading? No, hell no. This bitch is fucking crazy. I'm sorry, bro, but there's no way that she has some fucking problems going. Maybe she does, but at the same time, bro, this is some emotional tactical shit. Alright, she is trying to manipulate this man to do whatever she fucking wants. She even threatened to fucking hurt herself. Like, honestly, I'd never expect this shit out of hyojin, alright? Like, what the fuck, my guy? This is off the wall shit right here. Now, I am gonna say, alright, if you guys are going through this, if you guys are going through any kind of abuse, please call someone, alright? If you have any sort of mental health and you are doing this to your partner, please get some fucking help. Do not do this to them. This is fucked up. This is hard to read. This is just sad as fuck, dude. It's sad. Anyone who does this to their partner, I don't understand how you can ever be in a relationship. You are the most ridiculous fucking person ever. And I'm pretty. Hasn't Hyojin done this shit before in the past too? Like, this is just sad as hell. It is really fucking sad. Once at this house, he and his flatmates try to get my mind off shit, but at this point, I'm catatonic. I was lost. I have no idea where my life was gonna go in the next couple of days. Hyojin texts me, tells me we're through. Tells me I've ruined their life, that it's all my fault. That they're gonna get a criminal record, tells me how I don't love them, and I apologize. The police let them go with the warning. We spent an hour texting, and Hyojin manages to convince me that this whole ordeal was my fault. Hyojin forces me to pay for an Uber to take them to the place I'm staying at, so they can drop the rest of the shit off, so they can drop the rest of my shit off. I had forgotten my toothbrush. Hyojin makes me meet with them outside so we can talk. I pretty much end up them write a statement. What the this is like so hard to read, bro, because it's like so fucking unbelievable. I even end up helping them write a statement for the police so they don't get a criminal record. I was promised things would get better. Forgiving them for this was the worst mistake of my life. Letting that go basically opened the floodgates for every piece of textbook abuse you can imagine. How the mildest complaints. This is like so hard. Like, this is like upsetting. This bitch is crazy. How the mildest complication means I don't love them. Me moving in with my friends instead of getting a place of my own meant I didn't love them. Their words constantly suicide baiting, telling me that if I leave, they would kill themselves. Telling me my friends suck and I should cut them off. And then projecting that I'm somehow the one that hates their friends. My favorite thing about that was how one of the breakups, oh yeah, they impromptu broke up with me like 5 times throughout our relationship, happened because they had an argument in a Discord server with one of their close friends and ended the convo on a sour note. Instead of working it out privately, Hyojin asked me to berate the other guy. I said no. You guys are both adults. You should talk privately. Me yelling at the guy would just be counterproductive. When I kept declining after Hyojin instead insisted they broke up with me. They would also do the classic move using my insecurities against me. From using my car accident, from belittling me in a public servers with people I barely knew, while I was quite literally in the ICU, or bringing up friends of mine who had passed away to get a rise out of me during arguments. Incredibly normal behavior. What the fuck is this bitch's problem? For the last year of our relationship, Hyojin would constantly remind me that reconnecting with old friends who had moved back to Belgium was making them fall out of love with me, since we weren't spending every waking day together on Discord, and they'd get mad at me whenever I tell them what me and my friends got up to that day. For all of 2021, I was basically looking for a way out. I knew I couldn't break up with them because they would somehow use it against me. They are incredibly vindictive. For example, that guy I stayed with during New Year's, shortly after New Year's incident, him and Hyojin stopped being friends because of this. Hyojin celebrated any time they'd hear any sort of negative news about the guy, and was looking forward to hearing more, saying shit along lines of hoping they regret the day they cross squizxy, Hyojin, etc. I was also afraid of what Hyojin would do to themselves if I broke up with them, for honest reasons, so I waited for something that happened would let me end things. In a way that seemed mutual, COVID was a fucking godsend in the regard, and finally gave me the way out I needed, telling them that we should break up because it's getting harder and harder for us to see each other. We didn't talk for a month, so let emotions settle. We got back in touch afterwards, and it was fine until they asked me not to speak to them again because their new partner wasn't comfortable with them talking to the ex. I obliged. We got back in touch a couple months later, and they even joined a Discord server with a lot of my close friends. But the more I reflected on my experience, the more terrified I was to have them this close to me. So I politely asked them to leave. They sent thinly vile threats my way and removed me on everything. A week later, they found out I had started telling my close friends everything you've just read. They got mad at me one last time, called my behavior childish, and attempted to convince me that I was never abused in the first place. I told them off here, and here we are. That about covers it. I kept this hidden for so long because I was afraid of what they would do to themselves if people found out. They constantly told me, especially after New Year's Eve, after the New Year's event, that if people found out about this, they would kill themselves. My own brain could go on for so long, covering for my abuser, and was getting real tired of lying to my friends. Now that I brought this up, hyojin directly, and they have apologized to me and reassured me that they are seeking help. While that is nice to hear, I have a hard time believing them since the apology came 24 hours after calling me childish. And that quite honesty shit attempt at gaslighting. Weeks before our breakup, they told me they had to lie throughout their entire relationship about seeing a therapist and being medicated because, quote, I lied to make you feel better. Let's be real, it feels like somebody else wrote it. Needless to say, their apology felt flat. I had no intentions of ever reconnecting with them. And because this is Twitter, and obviously just doing this for clout, attached at the end of the text block is both their apology and when they acknowledge that all this shit happened, their attempt to shut me down in text logs after they were released from jail after events of New Year's Eve 2020. Abusers deserve no sympathy. If you're trapped in a situation like this, I don't wait for things to get better. Leave and do not look back. I believed every promise every time. Don't make the same mistakes as I did. This is the most saddest shit I've ever read in my goddamn life. This is depressing. I have had family members, I have friends be into shit like this. I've lost a couple of my friends to shit like this because they overdosed or they went to fucking prison because their ex hit them and they hit them back. I have seen my friends go through so much shit with some of their exes, and it's sad, honestly. I even went through the same thing, but mine wasn't this fucking bad. Not as theirs. And it's honestly sad because people are abused like this constantly, and no one ever fucking believes them. I'm just glad that this guy got out, alright? I'm glad, but at the same time, bro, if you guys broke up more than once, that's a sign. Alright, I'm not saying it's your fault, alright, bro. You were in love. That's what it is. I'm gonna call it stupid love. That's what you were. You were stupid in love. And it sucks. Trust me, it fucking does. And I'm just glad you got out, bro. Honestly, I think we're all glad you got out. Some people are still waiting to get out. And what sucks too is that most people don't even believe men are getting abused by women every single day. Because people believe that men can't get abused by fucking women. Let me tell you something. They can. Like I said, I have seen my friends go through this shit. I've even been through this shit. But mine wasn't as bad as his or theirs, alright? We broke up easy. And she was toxic. Don't get me wrong, she was toxic. She did threaten suicide with me. But I just left it at that. That's when I knew, hey, this bitch is fucking crazy, so I'm gonna leave. But you, on the other hand, Duck, bro, you're a fucking warrior for that shit. My mental health shit like that would not be able to handle that fucking thing. Nah. Hell no. But, dude, honestly, dubs to fucking Duck over here, bro. Honestly. He deserves some fucking love. Hyojin, on the other hand, I don't know. Alright, that's some crazy shit right there. You guys can say it's mental health all you fucking want, but Jesus Christ. How many times has she done this and now all of a sudden she's actually sorry? How many times has she apologized? Like he said, he don't believe that shit. I'm pretty sure none of us believe that shit. This bitch is fucking psycho. She really is. And I will be reading the docs maybe in the Google Docs in another video. I don't know. I might read them here. I don't know. I'll think about it. All right. So I fucking thought about it. Maybe I'll read them in another fucking video. But I went on her fucking little Twitch Twitter, right? And this is what the fuck she posted responding to all this. I'm not funny. My art is shit, and I'm a complete fucking psychopath whore. Yeah, no shit, you dumb broad. You're completely fucking psycho. Then she tweets this. Here's another highlight to you. Quote tweeting Punk Duck's fucking tweet about Then go on the fucking tweet. She's deleting half of her shit. Like, too late, you dumb fuck. Everyone knows who the hell you are now. But you know what? That's on her. That is completely on her. If she wants to act like such a fucking asshole to everyone and just be a toxic ass human being, that's on her. Nothing we can fucking do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you later. Love you all. And like I said, if you're going through this shit, please call someone. Ask for help. No one deserves to go through this shit whatsoever. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Love you all.
Ay, they just mad at the kid cause I'm doing it better. Making these songs while I'm stacking De Niro. I kick in your dough while I'm gripping Berettas. Devil may cry, bitch, I feel like I'm Nero. Talking to guy, you don't fuck with the vision. Fuck all that shit, bitch, I'm on a new mission. I need me to dough, yes, I need me to bench. She swallow my kiss, so I don't wanna kiss her. I've been smoking on a pack, but I want more. Still broke, get cash out a dumb hoe. Kicking it back off the map, yes, I need smoke. Talking to Zebby, he strapped with the meat bone. All of my ops stay mad cause it's still broke. I've been getting these bands cause the flow coat. Running in dumb into beds at the front toe. I just been moving these pants like it's pronto. Ay.